Welcome to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I'm your host, Jackie Hermans. I hope you've been loving this beautiful weather that we've been having, soaking it up. And there's so much that you can do and explore within Durham. So get out there, get on the trails, go to the different tourist attractions that are out there. Explore your community, explore your region. So we have a great show coming up. We are talking to Alec King, who is the communications lead for the Canadian Mental Health Association. So despite the beautiful summer weather, sometimes we can have not so awesome weather going on the inside. You know, sometimes you might feel like we have that dark cloud that's just keeps on pouring down, and maybe it doesn't seem to go away, or it goes and then comes back. And you know, the Canadian Mental Health Association is there to help support us. So we're going to be talking about some tools, and maybe it's also going to be confirmation that you are not alone. Over the past couple of years, I think most of us have experienced an upheaval, if not in one area in our life, but in some cases in several areas of our life. So the Canadian Mental Health Association and Alec King will be here to help support us. So make sure that you keep watching, because we will be right back with a whole lot of information, resources, and support for you, your mental health, and for your family's mental health. We'll be right back with more.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Summer days, summer nights, lots of things to do, places to go, and people to see. If you're having a few drinks, be sure to plan ahead and get home safely. We don't want to pick you up. Drinking drivers risk injuries to themselves and others, and take chances with their license, their jobs, and their future. Remember what's at stake and choose your ride, whether you're the driver, the passenger, or the party host. Thanks for supporting sober driving. I hope we never meet.
Visit arrivallive.org to find out more.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. And I'm Allison. Coming up on the next parenting show, we're talking about parenting hacks for family travel.
Yes, we're going to give you tips and tricks so that you can have a stress-free family vacation.
That's only on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Live. So I have Alec King with me, who's from the Canadian Mental Health Association, and he's the communications lead. And today we're going to be talking about, obviously, mental health and what CMHA does, the way, how you can support the community, the support that you need also from the government in order to be able to provide your programs. But first of all, I just wanted to talk about the current need that is there and how individuals can support themselves and what CMHA can do to help support. So, Alec, have you noticed an increase in mental health issues or the need for mental health support over the past couple of years?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. The pandemic's kind of had an effect on everyone, and we've seen an uptick in the number of people who are looking for services, and that's actually something that we've kind of noticed province-wide. 1 in 4 people have reported that they're reaching out to get mental health support, and that's an increase over what it's been in the past. So
1 in 4, that's a huge number.
It is.
I do see it's a good thing that they are reaching out for help. You know, with the pandemic has seemed to have caused, this is just my viewpoint here, it has seemed to have caused a ripple effect of upheaval in all areas of our life. So when you think about even food shortages out there, that's you know, causing stress, the increase in food prices, causing stress, people losing their jobs, or maybe not being able to find a job to be able to financially meet their needs, so financial issues. And there's also been an increase in separation and divorce too. And even for me, I've mentioned this on the show before too, I'm going through a separation, and it's not just the separation that is, it's affecting every single area of my life. And I am needing to use every single tool possible to try to keep my mental health on track. And we need support. I can't do this alone. And I think there's a lot of people out there that, you know, at least in the past for me, it was like, well, I'd be weak if I can't handle this on my own. But sometimes it can get so hard for people that they really, you can't do it on your own, and you don't have to do it on your own, right?
No, exactly. I mean, that it's like you said when you started, the pandemic has kind of shown the weaknesses in every possible system. Anything that was bad has gotten considerably worse, and anything that was hard or difficult for people just got harder over the course of 2 years. So anyone who has been dealing with stress or difficulty or anything like that, it just got worse and exacerbated. And it is one of the positives is that a lot more people are seeing that they can reach out for help to get assistance with those things. It's a shame that it took that kind of extra pressure and that extra difficulty for people, but the positive is that people are being more and more open to the idea of actually going out and getting support. And part of what CMHA does is we want people to realize that reaching out for support doesn't make you weak. It, in fact, is a sign of strength, because you know when you need something else. You know when you need the support of other people in your life to help you out.
Right. So what are some things that CMHA are doing for the individuals out there that need help?
Well, we're very, very lucky. We actually don't have a wait list at this point for most of our services. So someone who is looking for support with anything, if they want help with managing stress, or if they're having difficulties with anxiety or other emotions that they'd like to work on, or if they have particular parts of their life that are causing them significant stress that they want to have help or assistance working on, kind of thing. Someone can call our offices, they can send an email, or they can walk into our building at 60 Bond Street West in Oshawa, and if they come during business hours, someone will see them right away and they'll get assisted immediately. And from there, we have a wide range of services we can connect people with. We have case management support, which is for more of a long-term kind of connection for people, helping them get set up for things. We have our nurse practitioner-led clinic, which is a primary care for people who may have difficulty getting a family doctor, which can be very difficult nowadays. And all of our services are offered free of charge.
Okay,
Yep.
That's so perfect. I just found out yesterday that my family doctor is retiring.
Yep.
I'm like, really? Can we stop with the change just for a little bit? Like, just for a bit, please. Okay, well, that's really good to know. So in addition to getting caseworker support with someone to talk to, are there different programs out there that you can join, community groups, and is there a cost to any of the programs that you have? Everything
we offer is completely free.
Okay.
And plus, if we don't have something that that people are looking for, if there's any kind of support that people want that we don't offer, our services actually help get them connected. We want the idea that if you come to CMHA Durham looking for support, we will help you find that support directly.
Okay, because obviously you have partners
exactly
all over the region to be able to, what is that need? Because if this is causing you stress, then let's link you to this organization.
Exactly, and I mean, we're very lucky in Durham region. There's so many wonderful organizations out there, and we all kind of work together to look at the individual as a whole, so.
Okay, beautiful. So I was talking about, and we'll go into more about this even after the break, but I was talking about how I'm needing to use as many tools as possible. And sometimes it's just having a non-judgmental listening ear. And other times, you know, maybe it's going to be listening to music to try to bring that joy factor in there. Maybe creativity, you know, doing something something creative, something playful. Maybe it's even going for walks. On your website, do you have different things that people can do to help, you know, clear the density, clear the heaviness that might be coming down on you on any given day?
Absolutely. Well, one of the best resources that we have that are available is our Recovery College Wellness Center. It is an entire program kind of built around helping people manage their mental health from a position of strength.
We're going to go into that right after the break.
All right, great.
Hold that thought. Okay, we'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
I'm not special. Cancer happens to people all the time. I take 1 mile at a time, 26 miles a day. I want to set an example that'll never be forgotten. Sometimes, it feels endless. But the pain I feel is nothing. I've seen little kids in so much pain. Somewhere, the hurting must stop.
Carrie Fox ran more than halfway across Canada to raise money for cancer research. Every year, millions of people around the world continue the marathon of hope in his name.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So I have Alec King with me from the Canadian Mental Health Association, the communications lead. And just before the break, you were talking about the Recovery Wellness Center. I think I might have mixed some words around there.
It's a long title, but it's our Recovery College Wellness Center.
Okay,
and it's a fairly new program. We're very, very proud of it. It teaches people about managing mental health from a position of strength. So it looks at it in terms of what you can do to help manage your mental health in the best way possible. And all the courses are they're led and instructed in many cases by peers. So people who actually have lived mental health experience. So when you go to one of these courses, you're being instructed, and the learning has been developed by people who know what that situation is like and know what's helped them in the past.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That really helps them to come from a place of compassion. And I love that it's helping you to come from your place of strength. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned before the break that my earpiece is just adjusting itself. You mentioned before the break about that you're not weak. It's actually showing a sign of strength by reaching out. Mm-hmm. And even though, when it seems like our world is crumbling around us, you can feel at your weakest. Mm-hmm. You can feel like you're at the depth of, I think about, what's that, the story about from the ashes. What's that?
The Phoenix? The Phoenix, yeah.
Phoenix, yeah. So it gives me that image of being within the ashes and needing to come up through that. And to have that reminder that even when you're feeling at your weakest, you're probably also at the same time the strongest you've ever been, because you're getting to know the depth of you. Mm-hmm. And tapping into those emotions is such a powerful place to be. Mm-hmm. Because that's your turning point, right? Yeah. That's where you have that growth. That's where you can get to that place where you can soar again.
No, absolutely. There's that old expression, the easiest way through any problem is through it. And really, it's the only way for many situations is to actually go through something. But that doesn't mean you need to go through that completely by yourself. Right. And that doesn't mean you can't rely on the assistance of family. And that can mean, the people in your family, the people who are close to you, but it can also mean external services. It can also mean community organizations like CMHA Durham, who can help you find the tools that you already have, or help you find new things that you can use to help make that very difficult time just that much easier for you.
Right. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I have some other friends that are going through some really challenging times. And I feel like sometimes they can be the best support because mm-hmm. they get it. They know what's going on. And other times I feel also the need to, I have to separate because I can't handle what they're going through right now. Yeah. So having an organization such as CMHA and having those supports that are coming from, they're your strength, they're your rock. Mm-hmm. And I just, thank goodness you guys are out there to be able to support people.
No, and we've been with our community for more than 60 years, and we keep evolving to kind of match the situation. We were very lucky during the pandemic. We remained open. We were able to still serve our clients and take new clients on as well, which isn't something everyone was able to do, so we're very proud of that. But you mentioned talking with people who are in difficult situations, and I think the idea about when you run into a scenario where you're finding it difficult and taking that step back, that's a really valuable thing, because right now, like you said, people are dealing with all kinds of trauma, and it's good to be there and be supportive for someone, but at the same time you have to kind of have your own barriers and your own boundaries so that you can be able to help them later. You can't take too much. You have to look after yourself as well.
Yeah, it's really important for us to be really cognizant of those emotions that are coming up and the discomfort that's coming up. You know, I had 2 friends that I was talking to the other week, and I was in a place of rawness from what has been going on. And I noticed some of the comments that were coming out, always from love, always from a place of love. I noticed they were actually making me feel, the comments, the energy of them, I was feeling heavier and lower, because pointing out what could happen and what's the worst case scenario. I'm like, this is not helping me. And I had to outright say that. I'm like, you know, thank you, but I'm actually feeling I said, can you beat that? But I needed to speak my truth about that.
Exactly.
Right? And what you need. And sometimes you have to say, no, I can't be around someone or certain situations. We need to treat ourselves with love. And so that's honoring ourselves.
Absolutely. I mean, you think about like mental health, there's no physical ailment where you would push through for something like that. Like if you broke your leg, you wouldn't like keep on going, you wouldn't keep on walking, you would get the care you need to support and work from that. And it's the same thing with your mental health. If you find yourself in a situation where it's detrimental for you to be there, where it is causing you stress and difficulty, and it's in some way avoidable, then you should do everything you can to try and work around that. And at the same time, try and, you know, build yourself up so you're able to deal with it later. But there's no need to push yourself into a situation that's going to cause you pain.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, just on the same token, sometimes I'm like, I don't have the energy to do the dishes tonight, and I'm not going to. And I'm going to wait till tomorrow when I have the energy to do it. And sometimes, you know, if I can't respond to a text because my emotions aren't there, my strength isn't there, and that's okay too. You know, we need to listen to ourselves.
Exactly. It's very, very important to listen to our own kind of coping ability and what we're able to handle.
Yeah. Now, with all the wonderful supports that you have, and we mentioned this at the beginning a bit, you obviously can't do it all on your own. You need support to be able to do that. And we're going to talk about that after the break on the type of support that the Canadian Mental Health Association needs to help you have support. So we'll be right back with more. Stay tuned.
The Canadian film and TV industry recognizes it's time to build a better workforce, which includes more opportunities for Black, Indigenous, and persons of color. HireBIPOC.com is here to help make this happen. Whether you're already in the business, trying to get a start, or in a position to hire, HireBIPOC.com could connect you to the right people. From script to development, production to post, distribution to marketing. Check out HireBIPOC.com now and help build a stronger industry together.
Think it's too late to become more fit? Think again. I'm personal trainer Karen Ross, specializing in 55+ fitness. My mission is to help you find your way back to health and wellness. I'll give you the knowledge and the power to take control of your own fitness path. Everyone deserves quality of life for their entire life. Tune into A Little Bit Fit with me, Karen Ross, here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So I have Alec King with me from the Canadian Mental Health Association. He's the communications lead. And just before the break, we were talking about how all the amazing programs and services that you provide, obviously, there's a cost to be able to provide them. And I know you're not the only organization that provides some mental health support. What do you feel that the government needs to do more of to make sure that the communities are being supported so they can be healthy.
No, absolutely. Well, back in May, we had Mental Health Week, and the theme of that was that we were looking for more support for community mental health organizations. CMHA Durham provides a lot of resources to our community, and throughout communities all across Ontario and all across Canada, there's other similar organizations, not just CMHAs, that kind of provide that essential support that people are looking for right in their community. And those organizations need support, and we'd like to see them be more of a priority for the government.
I really think it needs to be a priority. With everything that's been going on around the world, directly in our communities and in our own personal lives, I think it's the most important. How can we be a vibrant community if our mental health isn't in check?
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, it's like we said at the beginning, more and more people are reaching out for help, and that's wonderful. And but we want to make sure that those services are still there for people so that even more people can come out and get the help that they need. Yeah.
And it's not just adults, right? As I understand it, even my own kids have been affected with everything that's been going on. But I understand, you know, the need for mental health support is across the board, across all ages. And so we had Canadian Mental Health Week, right? The first week of May. So with the messages that you were providing during that week, how can we continue with that throughout the year? Because obviously we can't just think about it for 1 week, and we need that support. So what can we do to keep that education up and to keep that self-support up?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we always love Mental Health Week because it's an opportunity for us to kind of highlight what we want everyone to do all year round. Right. So the big push this year, we talked about empathy. And I think that's one of those things that's just universal and we need to kind of carry forward all the time. We talked earlier about having conversations with friends and about listening to them and like kind of helping them go through difficult times. And that's being empathetic. That's listening to them and kind of understanding and not trying to solve the solution or find the solution for them directly. It's letting them talk about what's going on for them. It's just kind of human nature, but a lot of the time when we have conversations with people, when they tell us their troubles, we want to solve it. We want to fix that problem right away. And most of the time, that's really not helpful. People need to come to the solution themselves, and people need to find that kind of strength from within to do that. Something that comes from externally isn't as likely to succeed. So being a person who can sit there and listen to someone and let them talk through the problem, and then if they're looking for help, if they're looking for assistance, help them find that. That's something that we all need to, as people, get better at.
I find when I talk things out, it helps me to solve my own problem because I hear myself talk, I feel what is going on as I'm saying things and being able to, you know, self-assess that. And I find what's the most helpful thing is not only having the listening ear, but them asking more questions to go deeper. Yeah. And I think it's the questioning that helps to, oh yeah, I never thought about that. And again, it's that resolving it on your own.
Those questions are so helpful because they let you know that you're not being judged. They let people know that they're listening, that they're caring, and that they want to help, but they're letting you kind of express it yourself. Yeah. And that's why we think that dealing with the stigma around mental health is so important. We want people to be able to talk to anyone about how difficult things are for them. We don't want people to have to feel like they need to keep that bottled inside. And we want people to kind of have that conversation, talk it through with their friends, and come to a conclusion where they go, maybe I need to reach out for support. And then be able to do that free from feeling like there'll be any kind of negative consequences, because we all have mental wellness. We all have mental health that we need to deal with. Yeah.
I think that non-judgment is so incredibly important, but it can be hard to find. So, you know, you might only have, maybe it's one friend that you feel like you can disclose and just be totally you, and they're not going to be judging you. And I think it's important for us to aim to surround ourselves with those types of individuals. And a surrounding might be that one person, right? And that's okay. But if we have those non-judgmental, non-empathetic individuals in our lives, then that can be an indication that maybe that's what needs to shift in our lives.
Absolutely. And I mean, the strongest thing you can do is try to be that person, as much as you have those people in your lives to kind of lean and kind of help from. But remember that you can change yourself. And that if you find that that's something you have difficulty with, because I mean, Lord knows when I talk with people, sometimes the first thing you want to do is you go, I see what you need there. But if you can be the person who sits and listens and lets them feel comfortable talking, that's one of the best things that you can do.
Right. Now, you said change yourself, and that's all we really can do. We can't change anyone else. Yeah. And in many cases, we maybe can't even change the circumstances that we're in. Yeah. And I think a lot of stress and anxiety can come from wanting other people to be something different than who they are. Yeah. But all we can do is really work on ourselves.
Yeah. All we can really do is change how we react to a situation. Right. And having your control over that reaction is really where you have the most strength. If we can manage that, if we can handle how we deal with a stressful and difficult situation, it makes everything in life so much easier. It's easier said than done, but that's kind of what we work towards.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Alec, it was wonderful to have you on the show, and thank you so much to all that CMHA does. And thank you for watching. We'll be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Are you a woman experiencing abuse? Do you know a woman experiencing abuse? Help is available any time of day or night. Sheltersafe.ca is an online map that helps you find a women's shelter or transition house that meets your needs so you can live a life free from violence. Sheltersafe.ca. Help is just a click away.
Angel Morgan, host of Raising Energy. Join me weekly as I connect to spirits, animals, and so much more. That's right, Raising Energy, right here only on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So a huge thanks to Alec King of the Canadian Mental Health Association. Oh, what a beautiful man he is, and he's definitely in the right line of work. You can feel the love oozing from him, and as with everyone who works for the Canadian Mental Health Association, they do important things out there helping to support you. And if you need support, please reach out. It is there. And sometimes it's just needing the courage to actually pick up the phone or do a little Google search and take that step forward to getting some additional support. Keep an eye on your friends and family members and make sure that they know there is support out there too. We'll be back next week with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life. Bye.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Treaty in Cree is Nascomitoin, an oral agreement. And our agreements were always spoken. For George Spence, the core of treaty was Wichihioin, to help one another.
And so we, the commissioners...
He was there for the making of Treaty 9, where the Cree were told...
We will honor this agreement together, for as long as the sun shines and the waters flow.
The Cree made their mark because they were assured that the land would be shared.